Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, comrades and friends, welcome to the, well, basically, series of superpower videos I do where I pick random countries, plain vanilla superpower 2, and I make them into economic powers. I don't tend to go much further than that, depending on the playthrough. But for this particular playthrough, we're just focusing on the economics of Saint Lucia, and once we get the economy under a decent situation, we'll consider more in-depth videos later. For now, we are going to change a couple of laws here and there. For example, we are going to allow the freedom of demonstration. I see why that I can't see why not, basically. People are relatively poor. I mean, they're not super poor as far as things go, but they make a lot of money off tourism, so we're going to max out tourism. And what should we do? Well, we don't need good healthcare, that's for sure. No, definitely not. We don't need all that. Excuse me, also, if I sniff, sneeze, and whatnot, I'm very susceptible to colds, unfortunately, it seems. I have a nasty habit of recording my videos when I'm sick nowadays, it seems. So, yeah, I apologize ahead of time. Anyway, so we're well on our way to kind of getting our country set up. Let's switch to a diplomatic relations map. It seems like we're not really on good terms with anybody in particular, but obviously the people we're shooting for is Canada, Belgium, because Belgium always seems to have positive balance no matter what the situation, so it's always good to get Belgium to like you early on. Without further ado, we are going to check out and see what kind of laws they have permitted. Same-sex marriage and abortion are permitted there, so we are going to allow that as well. We're gonna, yes, legalize those two. Bam. Now, it made our approval rating go down, but frankly, I don't give a shit. Because all we want is Belgium to like us. And even more so, I'm going to significantly increase foreign aid. Let's see where a lot of our money's going. Diplomacy. Actually, no, really, it's our budget, our expenses, and we just don't make enough income to justify those absolutely ludicrous expenses. But, thankfully, we do have Belgium now on good terms with us. So we're going to click them, and we are going to go to economic aid. We're going to get them to send us a couple economic aid treaties. Again, I do this out of habit. Whether it works or not, multiple times, I don't know. I do know it works multiple times with other countries. Whether it works the same with one country, might not. Needless to say, I do it out of habit. Habits. So, before anyone rages on me. Let's see what France has. France is ludicrously broke. The U.S. doesn't like us all that much. Canada likes us, which is good. That means once they start making money, we'll be frickin' dandy, buddy. We will be so good to go. Anyway, bam, our income went up. Our economic health went up. Bam, income went up big time. Resources went up. We have a comment marking treaty with Belgium. However, we are still in the hole. So let's see where we can cut expenses by about 40 million. We could jump down education. Yep, that's probably going to be it. Actually, you know what? I want to bring down healthcare more. I don't want to bring down environment because environment gives us a certain bonus that would be important to us. Something else you can actually do. Oh, yeah, that's right. A lot of our money is actually going into... Yeah, a lot of the money that we're getting is from economic aid as well. So we can't really do that. Let's see if there's any other countries that are making a few dollars here and there that we can rely on. I'm trying to avoid using the global tax mod. It's there. I can definitely use it to do my means if necessary. But again, I'm trying to not be aggressive, and B, I'm trying to do this more diplomatically. That's how I kind of like to do these little things. Just do them diplomatically. get people to like you, and move up from there. So right now we're just going to stay with our negative balance for a little bit and get it higher. Alright, so obviously I'm going to raise taxes a little bit as well. It's a dramatic change indeed, and it may hurt our economy in the long run, but I don't care. Stability is still rising, which is a good thing. Corruption, amazingly enough, with our current budget, is actually lowering, which is also a good thing. I might lower that just a little bit, because we are, again, our balance, unfortunately, is rising, and I don't like the looks of that yet. Not until we have a country we can actually rely on for paying our bills. That's kind of when I'm going to be more accepting of that type of treatment. In the meantime, let's do this economic partnership to give us a little bit of a bonus. You can do it with multiple countries if you want, but again, I'm lazy, so I'll focus on like one or two. Let's see, we can't really do it. Assume my debts. We've pretty much exhausted everything we can do with Belgium. I'm going to ask for another economic aid treaty to see if it helps out at all. But really, I'm kind of relying on... Yeah, it didn't really help me much. We'll wait for it to refresh to be sure. Oh, there we go. Canada sent us one. Awesome sauce. It's exactly what I wanted to see. Bam, there we go. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there we go, there we go. So, basically, this is pretty much the gist of what you're going to do almost every time with a country. I mean, for those of you who actually watch these videos frequently and who've kind of seen how I play with all of these countries, I follow the same strategy. You don't have to be aggressive. This game isn't as hard as other games such as Supreme Ruler, or even like that democracy game that I'm currently doing a Let's Play series with. It's not as hard as those games in the sense of your GDP. It's a lot simpler, and it's a lot more based on other countries as well. So, you know, relying on other countries to make your money is not a bad idea, especially with these tiny countries like Saint Lucia, or, you know, if you like to play the Vatican or something like that. You know, the Vatican, unfortunately, is a little bit more of an aggressive nation to play as. If you want to survive, to be able to sustain that particular mode of living that they have, because it's really expensive. See, like Saint Lucia, it's so small, all you got to do is raise that diplomatic rating a little bit, and bam, look, people just start throwing money at you, and you're just going to keep receiving treaties here and there that essentially are going to give you money and, you know, help you get out of debt. At that point in time, you can start increasing your resources. St. Lucia does not have all the markets, clearly. We can look at food and agriculture. They're missing tobacco, drugs, cereals. You can go to fossil fuels. They don't have that. They don't have iron and steel, precious stones. They're missing plastics. Wow, really, plastics? You don't have plastics? It's crazy. Vehicles, obviously, no. There's no vehicle market there. But they've got everything else. So they have at least enough of a market to where you can make something out of it. But inherently, you've got to work with it. It's going to take a little bit of work, but what you can do, like I said, pay off the debt. First of all, go straight to your food markets. Let's see, we've already got a pretty good market in vegetables, so I'm going to increase that by 10%. Bam, we injected $3 million directly into production. It costs a lot, but it's going to pay off a lot in the long run. And also, I'm going to bring down the sector tax to 5% roughly. Just because I want to promote growth. Right now, we're so poor that growth is far, far more important than taxing that particular area. I'm actually probably going to do the same with most, if not all, of these sectors because of the fact that they all have such a low production. Yeah, we'll just keep that one at 7%, no big deal. And the rest of these, like, look at that, tobacco, we're charging tobacco. Taxing the piss out of something that we don't make at all, which we're relying on common market treaties to actually be able to fill that particular demand. Needless to say, let's look. See, we're already well on our way to establishing a decent little economy, And as long as you maintain good relations with these countries who are providing these economic aid treaties, you're pretty much solid, like early on in the game. And you can just focus on, building up your economy, increasing your markets. Again, focus on vegetables and fruit. Turn that into a huge, huge market. Why not? Like, look, that's already 5% of our GDP. Why the hell not? Let's just go ahead and up 25%. Bam. Now we're a little bit more in debt, but our production is way higher. So in the long run, we're going to make a lot more money off that. It's, we're going to sit there and trade with our allies. We're going to be able to fill their needs, fill our needs, so on and so forth. And our balance should be able to maintain itself. And not to mention, that helps out with your per capita and the population that's below the poverty line, so on and so forth. One thing you do need to keep a wary eye out for is inflation. Inflation, you don't want it to go past 5%. Otherwise, when inflation gets high, that causes your budget expenses over here to rise astronomically, and you do not want that to happen. That is, trust me, that's a bad thing. Something else that we need to focus on as well, now that we're actually making a little bit of money, corruption is going to become a problem. We need to start worrying about, like, injecting money into the environment, which provides resource production bonuses, as well as happiness approvals, stability increases, and it ensures that you have less natural disasters. So that is very important. I used to think environment was useless until I really understood its importance and its impact in this particular game. And now I have a much higher feeling of it, like how it works and its importance to the game. Ooh, to Switzerland, I don't think you're giving me an economic aid treaty, buddy. Let's go ahead and let's get that set up, why don't we? Yeah, good man, good man. And we'll set up a common market, too, if we haven't already, just to make sure that we are indeed maximizing our resource potential and money potential. Bam, see, look at that. Look at that. We are making 25 million. Definitely not as big as some of these other guys, but if you think about it, we've, like, quadrupled our income in, like, a year and a half. We've quadrupled that income because we went from 60 million with 175 million expenses to almost 250 million income. So if people liked us more and we had allies, I would actually take over Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. I might even move north and take Saint Kitts and Nevis, because Saint Kitts and Nevis is, they're pretty little decent. Like, they're the only, out of all these islands, they're the only ones that are actually making any money. So it's not really a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Anyway, this has been Commissar, bro. I hope this has helped you out a little bit when you're playing with this particular country. Again, this one is diplomatic heavy. Rely on that. I mean, you can be more aggressive if you'd like to. I wouldn't, personally, until I know I can get away with it. I would focus on tourism, trade, personal income tax, mostly foreign aid, because just look at our budget. Half of our income is foreign aid. So, it makes no sense to be overly aggressive and lose that potential to basically build up your market to huge degrees by just being peaceful. And even then, as you can see, I don't even have the foreign aid bar maxed out, and these countries are slowly liking me more and more. That's just the benefit of playing this particular country, I guess. And look, our resources has risen by like 30% since we started playing. So our economy is growing, our country is growing exponentially, and we are well on our way. We are well on our way. Look at that, bam, 30 million. We're making, ooh. This is going to be fun. And honestly, I'm actually considering continuing this particular game, continuing with the economy, and when it gets really big, maybe try even to take over the U.S. You never know. You never know what can happen. It's again, the thing I love about this game is it's so incredibly unrealistic that anything can happen. So yeah, but again, this has been Commissar Bro. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, the usual. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comment box. I will answer them. When I'm not at school or I'm not doing something else, I am hawking over my little forums there I got in the chat box. trying to help people and trying to answer questions, so on and so forth. Anyway, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. You have an amazing night.